Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our beautiful weather window this afternoon. And wasn't it nice out there today with temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 30s? This beautiful view thanks to Sky-Fi and their tower cameras out at Hose Landing in Orondo. And what a beautiful shot at the mountains and also the sun just setting late this afternoon. Plenty of sunshine out there, and I hope you had a chance to enjoy it today because once again, our weather will change as we get into Friday. We'll see increasing clouds tonight ahead of a storm system, and this is what we expect Friday. Really, this is Friday until about afternoon Saturday with a few snow showers. You can see Wenatchee only about an inch accumulation. Most of the heavier snow in our area anyway will be up around the plain area, maybe 4 to 6 inches closer to the east slopes of the Cascades. But all in all, this is a pretty weak storm system, but it will bring us a little bit more snow, and then beyond that, more cold air. And we'll talk about that coming up in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. 2 men are in jail tonight after an altercation at a Kashmir apartment complex. The Jill Sundberg murder trial is over, and we will have the verdict for you coming up. And another major housing development is being proposed in the Wenatchee foothills, this time in the number 2 Canyon area. But first, we begin tonight. A child was pulled from an icy Rock Island pond this morning by a member of the Douglas County Fire District team. Emergency crews were called to a pond near the Marine RV Park in Rock Island around 11:15. Sean Ballard of Ballard Ambulance was on scene and told NCWLIFE News the child was taken to Central Washington Hospital and later transported by Mediflight to Seattle Children's Hospital. Ballard said the child was underwater for about 15 minutes. He says when she was airlifted to Seattle, she was stable and breathing, but still unconscious due to her extremely cold body temperature. The young girl was reportedly staying with a family friend at a trailer park nearby. 2 men are in jail tonight after an altercation at a Kashmir apartment complex. Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett says at around 7 p.m. Wednesday, deputies were called to a residence in the 3600 block of Self's Motel Road in Kashmir of a report of gunshots in that area. When they arrived at the complex, they quickly detained a 37-year-old man after it was determined that he fired several shots into the air from a revolver near the front porch of his residence. After the shots were fired, a 25-year-old male neighbor confronted the suspect and later struck him with a stone bowl, injuring him. The 25-year-old male was later booked into Chelan County Jail for assault second degree. Deputies, with the assistance of detectives, served a search warrant on the 37-year-old suspect's residence and recovered a stolen firearm. He was booked into Chelan County Jail for possessing a stolen firearm, aiming or discharging a firearm, and assault in the 4th degree. Well, the Jill Sundberg murder trial is over. The 12-person jury found Gustavo Tapia Rodriguez guilty on all counts for the murder of Sundberg on December 21st of 2016 and then left along the side of the old Vantage Highway. The 12-person jury began deliberations this morning and reached a verdict relatively quickly after hearing closing arguments in the case against Tapia Rodriguez. Prosecutors argued that the murder was a revenge killing tied to a Mexican drug cartel. The victim's body had been shot multiple times along with a cardboard message that was impaled with a knife to the victim's back that indicated the cartel was involved. Tapia Rodriguez is facing up to life in prison. Well, another major housing development is being proposed in the Wenatchee foothills, this time in the number 2 Canyon area. Called Queens Court Villas, the gated development on just over 6 acres at the end of Queens Court Road would consist of 13 4-story buildings with 4 townhouses per building. Each townhouse would include an elevator. The developer is Castle Heights Holdings. The Wenatchee Department of Community Development is accepting public comments on the proposal until March 1st. In its application, the developer said, quote, "A key feature of the building design is to create a community with homes that offer spectacular views of the Wenatchee Valley," unquote. Approval of the 17-home Black Rock Terrace housing development off Skyline Drive, about a mile and a half away, is currently being appealed in Chelan County Superior Court by the State Department of Fish and Wildlife. Well, coming up next, this Saturday, the AAA Washington Insurance Agency and a coalition of public safety agencies will hold the 4th annual Firewise Day. Chelan County Commissioners are meeting with State Department of Natural Resources officials to discuss planned forest health projects in advance of the 2019 wildfire season. And we'll have our weekly kennel cameo feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
When you have to get there on time and looking good, call Fast, Friendly, Reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. Available 24/7, AC Checker Taxi has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee for your pre-booked call. Some conditions apply. Call 663-8294. AC Checker, 663-TAXI. Schedule your ride ASAP or book up to a year in advance online at azchecker.com. American Classic Checker Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
I'm working today.
I have got some work to do today.
Don't forget, I've got some work for you today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Thanks.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in our community.
New beginnings feel great, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Welcome back. In another news, this Saturday, the AAA Washington Insurance Agency and a coalition of public safety agencies will hold the 4th annual Firewise Day. On a recent episode of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Firewise Day organizer Joe Gluzinski told host Dan Kuntz that recent fire history, specifically the Sleepy Hollow fire in 2015, proves nobody is immune to wildfire.
I watched the 28 homes, I believe it was, burn up in Broadview that day. I was about a mile downwind of the flames and the homes burning, the embers drifting. And I watched my neighbors panic. And I thought, oh my gosh, if they're panicking on a level 1 evacuation, what if we're on a level 2 or 3? What if there's a wall of flames coming through town, as there was up at Broadview that day? People might run each other over trying to flee. So I felt relevant to the solution. I didn't know why yet. It was certainly a wake-up call. I don't think anybody expected that spot fire that happened at the packaging or the recycling center to happen, and the catastrophe that was avoided by the volunteer firefighters and in the city of Wenatchee, or Chelan County and Douglas County and all the other responders that came in. They really saved the day. It could have been much worse.
Representatives from various local organizations will be on hand talking about defensible spaces, landscaping, and disaster planning. Firewise Day is this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Pybus Public Market. Chelan County Commissioners are meeting with the State Department of Natural Resource officials to discuss planned forest health projects in advance of the 2019 wildfire season. Commissioners sat down with NCWLIFE Steve Hare for a preview of what will be discussed.
And we do think that there are some things that we can do in conjunction with the state. Actually, this Thursday, Commissioner England and Commissioner Overbay and I, with our Natural Resources Director, Mike Caputa, will be meeting with Public Lands Commissioner Hillary Franz and our legislators to look at some both near-term and short-term actions that we can take to address some of the both the smoke management, wildfire risk issues, and really work the partnership, both at the state, federal, and all these very active local groups that really want to get ahead of the curve related to what is going to be an increasingly difficult issue. We need to be much more proactive, and I do think there are tools available for us. So we're going over Thursday to explore that with Commissioner France.
Maybe we'll get a discussion about what you're going to be doing, Kevin, in your district here in the Stemilt Basin.
Absolutely. You know, the Stemilt Basin, we had a landscape assessment done on the basin. We've identified areas that we could actually do some prescriptive burns as well as some other forest health treatments. And we'll be actually looking at that area specifically as we have these conversations and seeing exactly what can be done, how we can move forward on that, you know, a little bit more rapidly than what it would ordinarily take, and actually hopefully being able to utilize Chelan County as more of a pilot area when we take a look at what we've been able to do with the Stemilt partnership, and you know, where you have entities, both private and public entities, coming together for the greater good, you know, of the community, and being able to take a look at that and potentially be able to model this for other communities in statewide. And so that will be part of the conversation that we have on Thursday with the commissioner, and you know, seeing exactly how we can team up with them. We did have that community resiliency meeting that we had about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, and this is a follow-up to that. It was as if there was an ask of, you know, how can we, how can DNR get involved with the counties and things like that and the other entities on making these things happen on the ground.
Commissioners expect to receive a receptive ear in Olympia as DNR's 20-year forest health plan calls for restoring some 1.5 million acres of state, federal, and private forest by the year 2033. Steve Hare, NCWLIFE News.
Time now for our weekly Kennel Cameos feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Today, NCWLIFE's Megan McPherson introduces us to Leo the dog.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCWLIFE channel. We are here with Jenny, the volunteer coordinator at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and joining us this week is Leo. Can you tell us about Leo?
Yes, Leo's about 7 years old. He's a Chihuahua mix. He's a friendly little guy. From what we can tell here at the shelter, he seems social with other animals. However, I think he's probably wanting to have a nice, relaxing home where he can just chill with somebody, and he enjoys walks. He loves to be outside, even in the cold. Yeah, that's kind of all we really know about Leo, but he's very sweet.
Yeah. And if someone wants to adopt Leo, what should they do?
They should come on down here to the shelter and meet Leo first and see if it's the right fit, and then they can fill out an application and adopt him, and he's ready to go.
Do you have something to say, Leo?
You go.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. Kennel Cameos is supported in part by Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory in Leavenworth. Not only does the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory have great house-made fudge and super delicious candy and caramel apples, but they also have great doggy treats for your four-legged friends, located at 636 Front Street in Leavenworth. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no-cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's feature story, our final installment in our series on the Chelan Douglas CASA program. CASA volunteer Gretchen Milne shares with us her passion and why she joined the program as an advocate.
Some of my cases I've had for 3+ years. So remember, I'm seeing these kids at least twice a month. So really getting to know these children, making sure they're getting great help in school, they're being seen in counseling, all of the different pieces of this pie, and then we actually see these children, perhaps maybe in a case, get adopted by the grandparents, or maybe move to another state with some relatives, or maybe get adopted by foster parents here around the area. I've seen all of these things, all of the scenarios that I just mentioned. I've seen them all, and those are very, very, very happy cases. I've also seen the other side of that coin, and no matter how hard it seems like we work, maybe it doesn't all work out beautifully, and those are bitter pills, but you know that you've done everything you can possibly humanly do to make it different. So both sides of the coin, but you work and you work and you work, no matter how it's going. A lot of times our kids blow out of placements. They'll have behaviors, but they've been through so much. And so anyway, one of his children had been blown out of a placement and was in a completely different place, and he had to drive and find this child. And the little person was sitting on the ground playing, and I don't remember exactly, but I think he said that the child hardly even looked up, but went back to playing and said, "I knew you'd find me." And that was it for me. When I heard that story, I knew that I could do this because I knew I could find these kids. If you saw their faces, you'd be in love. I mean, I'm Twitter-pated. I love these guys. They're fantastic. And boy, if I don't do it, who will? I mean, it's a privilege. I love these guys.
Those details. What a day today with lots of blue sky out there and sunshine. We love that here in north central Washington. And a beautiful shot from Hose Landing out at Orondo, courtesy of Sky-Fi and their tower camera. But we did see plenty of sun, and that allowed our temperatures to really warm up nicely today. In fact, the first real warm-up we've seen in the entire month of February. Unofficially 38 degrees this afternoon. Not too far below now, where we should be this time of year at 44. 21 was where we started out. 29 is our normal low temperature. 65 our record high in 1988, and 10 degrees our record low back in 1986. Still at 1.56 inches of precip for the year, and we now have a snowfall to date. This is from December 1st until today. We have 33.9 inches of snow recorded in East Wenatchee at Pangbourne Airport. There are different readings around Wenatchee, but that's the one we go with, so that's where we sit so far for snowfall to date. Sunrise 6:56, sunset at 5:34. Taking a look at our surface loop and what we can expect over the next 6 days, beginning tonight at 10 o'clock. We will see increasing clouds mainly from this system that will slowly settle into the Pacific Northwest over the next couple of days. We'll see chilly overnight temperatures tonight into the teens as we move into the final day of our work week on Friday. This will be our situation late tomorrow morning, about 10 o'clock. We'll see a 60% chance of snow as this little pocket of moisture slides through Washington State. Really just a dusting of snow, if it sticks at all here in the Wenatchee area. By 4 p.m., as we begin to cool down just a little bit, still a 60% chance of snow. That's where we could see about an inch of accumulation here in the Wenatchee Valley. Really, no more than that is expected out of this system. It will begin to break apart a little bit on Saturday, even though we will see a 50% chance of snow. That's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Saturday. Beyond that, it will break up even further by Sunday at 1 o'clock. Still some scattered flurries out there, mostly cloudy skies, a 30% chance of snow, but you can see most of the heavier snow will be through Idaho and parts of western Wyoming. Monday, we transition to our cloud cover map because no real systems will affect us over the next few days next week. Mostly sunny, isolated flurries on Monday, but some colder air will sink down from the north, and that'll get our high temperatures back down into the upper 20s to near 30. Tuesday, the same, mostly sunny skies, just a chance for isolated flurries, even though most of Washington State will enjoy lots of sunshine. Beyond that, warmer temperatures and possibly some rain mixed with snow. Let's take a look at your quick lube and tune forecast. 18 the overnight low tonight. 36 tomorrow with a 60% chance for snow. We'll see cloudy skies, and then we begin to cool down. A 50% chance of snow on Saturday. That goes down to a 30% chance of the white stuff on Sunday and 30 degrees. And as we move into our next work week, much cooler temperatures. 28 your high on Monday, 25 Tuesday, and 29 the high temperature on Wednesday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Everything we do is about delivering very high quality care and keeping our patients safe.
We really work as a team here, and so that's really what makes it worthwhile.
I give 100% every day, and I do that because I work for a company that I believe gives 100% back to me.
The bottom line is we genuinely care about our employees.
It is the most incredible place to work, and you will be inspired every day.
Antique Mall at Cashmere wishes you a happy and prosperous new year. With 15,000 square feet to explore, Antique Mall at Cashmere has something for everyone. For repurposing projects, do-it-yourselfers, and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, this is the place to find your next project. Antique Mall at Cashmere, their friendly staff is here to help you. Stop on by today.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Thursday to you. The Wenatchee Wild finished the regular season last night with a 3-1 win over Penticton at the South Okanagan Event Center. After a scoreless first period, Brian Adams got the offense going in the 9th minute with his 11th goal of the season. The Wild pushed the lead to 2-zip on a goal with 11:52 mark of the second. V's cut the lead in half on Ryan Sandlin's redirection of a shot a minute 7 seconds into the third. The two teams would battle it out from there, with Austin Park shutting the door in net and Josh Arnold getting an empty netter for the final score of 3-1. Art Checker had the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network, video courtesy of Hockey TV.
Worked back across, broken up, and Souter will take off. He and Barger with a 2-on-1. Now a trailer. Adams shoots. He scores! Brian Adams rockets the shot high on the blocker's side. Wenatchee draws first blood. They lead it 1-0. Lucas Souter set him up as he was the trailer. It was starting to be a 2-on-1, maybe a 2-on-2, as Pochapinski was coming back on the back check, but Souter spotted Adams, and Adams rockets the shot high blocker's side. Angles it off the wall for Adams. He's got Barger driving to the net. Adams finds a trailer and Fletcher. Left side shot, score! And again, the trailer on the zone entry picks up the pass. Last time it was Adams who caught the pass and made the shot. And this time, he's the one that sets it up. Time of the goal, 11:52. And the Wild now lead it 2-0. Slashes, they're inadvertent, but they happen. Here's David Celia. His shot and is in. Well, it took all of 8 seconds. I don't know if that was tipped or if it went off of Park's glove. Sandelin leading the parade, so he may have got a tip right there on the doorstep. Picked up by Sandelin, up high to Smart. Smart throws it through, and then swatting it away, or attempting to, was Modry. Wild pick it up, and they'll dish it out through center. Gashevsky works it ahead, and now with an empty net, here comes Arnold. He'll shoot, and he'll score. Stratton comes along, and as the puck's played by the V's, they'll work it ahead through center. Poke checked away. Horn sounds, and that's the end of this one. So the Wenatchee Wild end up winning 4 of the 6 games, 4-1-1 overall this season against Penticton.
Wenatchee finishes the regular season with a 32-20, 2 overtime losses and 4 shootout losses record. 70 points, good enough for third in the BCHL's interior division. Penticton and Merritt are tied for the division lead. Both have 2 games remaining this week. The Wild start the first round of the playoffs at home on a week from Saturday. Well, Travis Williams is in his 5th year as the boys basketball coach at Wenatchee High School. Saturday will be his 2nd time taking a Panther team to the regional round of the playoffs after an exciting 52-51 win over Davis to capture the district title. Williams says he thinks that win can propel his team even further.
That was awesome, and I told the kids afterwards, it's one of the most exciting moments in my coaching career. It felt so good to win that game, and especially the way we won it too, getting down 4 and fighting back with a couple minutes left. It took some big plays, and guys came through in the clutch and made some huge plays and free throws down the stretch, and so it was awesome, definitely one of the highlights of my coaching career.
Williams is aware of the Panthers' dubious record when it comes to getting to and playing at state. He says he and his coaching staff have been explaining that to their players.
That's one thing I know, Coach Whipple and Coach Kansky and myself have talked about, and we've tried to relay that to our guys that, hey, you guys have a great opportunity right now. This opportunity hasn't come around a lot in the history of Wenatchee basketball. So, we've used that with our guys just to kind of help them to live in the moment and realize the opportunities they have and that we need to try to take advantage of those opportunities. So
the Panthers will face Mount Rainier Saturday in Ellensburg in a winner-to-state loser-out contest. Williams says he's seen enough film to know how his team matches up.
Really athletic team. We match up with them actually pretty well size-wise. They've got a kid that's about 6'6", 6'7", who's really long and athletic, and so he does a good job on the interior for them. But they've got a lot of guards that can really get out and push the ball up the floor, and they're really quick off the dribble. So we just have to do a good job of keeping the ball in front of us and not give up layups. And then they get out and pressure a lot, so it's going to be extremely important for us to take care of the basketball and not be turning over in the backcourt where it's leading to a lot of transition, easy lay-ins for them.
The Panthers and Rams tip it up at 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon in Ellensburg. Speaking of the playoffs, here's another look at the regional basketball schedule for local teams tomorrow and Saturday. Begins tomorrow night at Wenatchee High School with the Kashmir girls facing Elma at 6. That'll be followed by the Entiat and Inchelium girls at 8. Closer to home at Eastmont High School Saturday, the 6 o'clock game features Brewster and Toutle Lake boys. That's followed by a 8 o'clock game between the Brewster and Mabton girls. I'll be at Wenatchee High School tomorrow night, as well as Ellensburg and Yakima Saturday. Coming the action, be sure and follow it on our Facebook page. That's Sports. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
NCWLIFE channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's Learn, Guada TV, Street Talk and Other Stuff, the 12th District, Life with Lisa,
and the arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life Channel is your local TV station.